Ranj, your colleagues, excuse me, have been working around the clock is an absolute understatement.
Absolutely. With every terrible, horrible act of terror like this, there are even greater acts of humanity. We see that across our emergency services and throughout the NHS. And you know what? When a major incident like this is declared, everybody pulls out the stops and they all come pouring in.
Well, there's a consultant, Dr. David McCarthy, that commented on his social media that night. It sort of sums up everything.
Oh, it really does. So David McCarthy is a consultant anaesthetist at the Manchester Royal Infirmary who was on call that night. And I tweeted this morning, and he basically said, an atrocity was carried out which has had an immeasurable impact on countless lives. Many casualties were brought to our department. Once an incident had been declared, dozens upon dozens attended to help. The response from my colleagues represented everything great about this country: compassion, empathy, tireless self-sacrifice, and above all else, profound unity. Staff from almost every imaginable background, race, religion came together and put their all into caring for those who were wounded. I was proud to be a small part of such a dedicated team, every bit as diverse as our community. And that is so, it just completely exemplifies the spirit of the NHS when something like this happens. Similar thing happened at Westminster, just literally down the road from here, not too long ago. You know, people rushed out, people rushed in from home to help and do whatever they can. And that's paramedics, that's nurses, doctors, porters, everything gets mobilised.
And when you think that, when we often talk about the NHS, it all becomes very political and people are whinging about this, that and the other, and this only shines a light on, and when you need them the most, they are there.
Well, that's why the NHS was conceived, was to give people help and hope when they needed it the most. And when something like this happens, despite the NHS not being perfect, we really, really appreciate how lucky we are.
Well, we really appreciate you, that's for sure. That's what they can do. Brilliant work. A lot of people like us thinking, what can we do to help? Giving blood seemed to be the obvious option. There was a bit of confusion around giving blood. People were being turned away. They needed certain blood types. What's the situation with that now?
So the amazing thing was that people really, really queued up outside blood donation centres to try and help in every way they can. And when you've got major traumas like this, we need blood. The great thing was that the supplies were replenished enough for what they needed. So, in fact, they were overwhelmed and probably had to sort of start turning people away. But what I would say is if you still have an appointment to donate blood, please keep it. We are going to need ongoing supplies. Regardless of all these incidents that have happened that give us a dramatic acute need, we still have a background need. We still need tens of thousands more donors to be registering. So please, 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 if you've been inspired by this, the best thing you could do is register to donate blood and keep doing so.
And it's also so easy to forget as well. The hospital has to also carry on without what's gone on with the patients that they've got already.
So now we've got to get back to normal work, and, you know, other hospitals, 8 other hospitals in the region helped each other out. That's the, you know, Alderhay were taking trauma patients of children from Manchester. This is the kind of thing that we do, and it's an amazing thing to see.
Well, Donna says, where would we be without our emergency services? They're worth their weight in gold. Thank you so much.
And Joan, so many good people working tirelessly to help. Remember that there are more of these type of people than there are bad. It's very, very true.